You know what is the most common thing you can see uh, in the ring where two martial artists are fighting, or someone is running a 100-meter race and he's winning, he or she is winning, or there's a war, there's a complete war going on, and there's one guy is pushing through. Actually, you can see two things. uh, or you could see a swimmer, he's swimming, and he's just keep going ahead. The most common thing you'd see is that they're focused, they're silent, and they're not speaking. They are moving ahead. They're just moving ahead. They don't have to say anything. It's just action. There is action that is going to speak aloud after a while. So this post is about the silent warriors we have among ourselves. We are all silent warriors. Some of us are, some of us, I think we all are, but not all of us have recognized that the only way to win and succeed is that to increase that focus, you have to go a little bit silent. You cannot keep speaking bullshit. You cannot keep being loud. Being loud, speaking too much, speaking nonsense, speaking without any context doesn't take you anywhere. You're just wasting your time, you're clouding your mind, and nothing really works out. So let's imagine you are in a group and on a work day, and three people are talking. You are one of them, and you're just talking about day-to-day life. But before you talk, before you say something, do you give it a thought that is it going to add any value to my life? Am I going to learn something from it, or am I going to succeed from this conversation? Or is it just random conversation which does not have any action? In our day-to-day life, we speak so much, we speak abruptly, we see two people talking, and we would just go and interrupt, and we would start speaking ourselves without thinking that you you did not need to say anything at that point to those two people. You had no involvement. It was not adding any value to you. Sometimes silence can add more value than speaking too much. What if instead of speaking too much, you could just smile and move on to your next task, to next action? I don't know if you guys have heard about the movie called Act of Vengeance. There's a lawyer, and he speaks too much, seriously a lot, and one fine day his wife and his daughter dies. Somebody kills them. He goes to the police station, he gets drunk, he keeps speaking, nothing helps. Then he's just walking by some sideways, and he tries to protect a girl. Some guys are trying to make her a prostitute. and he gets into a fight, and he falls down in a bookstore, and he finds this book about Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius was a philosopher and a king. His philosophies have changed a lot of people. See, in one of the fine page, he reads the same thing. You have to become a silent warrior. You don't have to speak what doesn't make sense. So for this lawyer, nothing made sense at that point of time. So he vowed to himself that unless he finds the culprit who murdered his wife and his daughter, he would not speak a word. So as soon as he stopped speaking, he realized that his body started changing for good because he started exercising. His mind was less cluttered, his mind was more focused. His listening skills got so focused that he could hear a punch coming from backside. He could move like a wind and nobody would know that where he stood and where he went. Once you're focused, once your mind is less crowded, you can do things unimaginable. So I think that's what this movie kind of indicates. You know something? You could be a genius, but with geniuses, there is one certain problem. They have a destructive nature. They don't have focus. A lot of geniuses, I would say 90% of geniuses, they don't have focus. They have destructive nature. They have high IQ, but they have destructive nature. But once they find that they don't need to speak too much, they don't need to clutter their mind, they actually are able to utilize their geniuses, their brain capacity, their potential. Even without being a genius, if you go into that zone wherein you don't have to speak too much, you just have to speak which are your actions, you could do amazing. You could be better than a genius. I was watching a video. This Chinese monk says, and I think he's truly right, that you have a plan and you have a goal, and you have not completed those goals. But if you speak about these goals to anyone, to your family, to your friends, there is 99% chance that you'd not be able to achieve these goals because these are your personal goals. There could be n number of factors why this happens. First factor, I have realized that this adds pressure on you, that you will be embarrassed, you will be shamed somehow. Second is nobody trusts you. They would doubt you that you would not be able to do it. So you'd create negativity around your goals, and there is a chance that you'd not be able to do it. Why do you have to tell your goals to anyone if they are not adding any value to this specific goal, or are they part of this goal? If they're not part of this specific goal you have, you don't need to tell them. You don't need to speak it out. If they're not adding any positive value, they should obviously not add any negative value to it. So one specific thing I think I have already talked about, clutter of mind. So the only reason me, you, everyone, a lot of people procrastinate and cannot focus is because they're clouding their mind with maybe speaking too much, out of control. or just watching those reels which have loud noises and which don't add any value to your mind and to your learning, to your life. Imagine if you stop putting too much things which don't add value to your mind. In your mind, you'll have a space for things which actually matter, which actually is going to help you succeed in life. The end, you know, end, your mind deserves and really is hungry, and your soul is hungry for actions, actions, and actions, not clutter. It's like, if you go to gym, if you're not going to gym, you're just eating snacks outside, you are making yourself fat. You're filling yourself with something you did not need. It did not add value. It did not make you healthy. It's the same way if you're just putting in fat in your mind that is not needed, and your mind will get obese. It would not be able to think. It would not be able to take decisions, wise decisions, let's say. It would take some decisions, but that would be wise or not. You never know. I think I have also played chess. While you play chess, everything goes out of your mind and only the strategy stays, that what is going to be my next step. So beautiful how when you focus, stop speaking, stop saying bullshit, stop thinking bullshit, stop watching bullshit, you stop clouding your mind. Thank you, signing off. Thank you for watching the Ranjan Pathak show.